Hey, YouTube. Today you get to ask the picture lady. Hey, how y'all doing today? All right, so today, you guys, I thought, hey, Hot Grits, how are you, darling? today, you guys, I thought I'd come and I just answer some questions. Hey, picture lady, say what? Hey, picture lady, say what? So today I'm gonna answer some questions. Um, I got a serious question in my email from one of my constituents, one of my folks, from one of my everyday people. Okay, so you guys know I used to be a teacher, and people are always sending me emails and asking me for advice about stuff. So I said, you know what, Viv, some of these questions other people might have some questions about, but I would never put anybody's name out there, and I'm never going to shame anybody or uh, put any identifying marks where people would know somebody. Hey, Pure Cat Ashley, how are you, darling? Hugs to you. Mm, my everyday people. So you guys today, okay, so you guys know um I got my name from here in town. Everybody calls me the picture lady. They've been calling me the picture lady since I taught school in Washington D.C. and I used to do pictures for the school. And so everybody calls me picture lady and they're like, "Hey, picture lady." And the name is always stuck. I got down here and people started calling me, "Hey, picture lady." So I had someone that sent me an email. I'm going to read this email to you guys. I'm going to let you guys weigh in, and I'm going to tell you what my advice to the person was. And you guys can weigh in and help me and say yes, no, maybe so. All right. Hey, picture lady. I'm a second year high school teacher, and I remember you stating that you were a teacher. I have an issue, and I don't want to be known as a troublemaker or a snitch. Y'all, I'm already scared of this email. Lately, I've noticed some odd behavior between a fellow teacher and a student. The student and the teacher are always in the classroom alone. Oh, shucks. One day, I walked into the teacher's classroom and they both jumped and started acting strange as if I walked in on them in some type of inappropriate act. Oh, shoot. This was not the first incident. I have seen them interact inappropriately with one another on other occasions. What? Okay, let me keep going. The student is very attached to this teacher, and they are always in one another's personal space. I have heard other teachers talk about how something seems funny between this teacher and the student. Y'all, I'm already scared. Should I talk to my colleague or just tell my administration? I don't want to accuse this teacher of something unscrupulous and have a dark cloud over their career. But on the other hand, I would hate to later find out this adult was a predator that I could have stopped from violating this child and many other children. What would you do in my situation? Story time. Okay. I told you guys I used to be a teacher in the middle school in the inner city. I taught special needs. And I had a situation where I had a male teacher, and this person didn't say if this was a male teacher or a female teacher and a male student or a female student. All that don't matter. I had a situation where I had a male teacher. So he was a coach. And I always said it was just something weird about the way he interacted with this female student. And because the female student, she was always in his face. You know how when females like a guy, she stick her chest out and they're young and they don't know. And she was always, in his face. And I went to him and I said, look, I don't have that student. I don't really know her. But look, bruh, that ain't a good look. Keep that young gal out your face. Hey, Sunlight Sprite, how are you? I told him that wasn't a good look. Keep that young gal out your face. And I told him if I see any other behavior that I think is suspicious, I'm going to tell. Because I'm one, if I see something, I say something. Because my thing is, again, I don't want it to be a situation where it look crazy. Well, I did say something because I seen another incident where I just thought it was inappropriate. Um, he was the male basketball coach, so why you always up in his face? That's why I would ask her. So I went to one evening. I told him I seen him. He was up in his classroom. Dad just came finished with basketball practice. It was after school program, so that's how I was there so late. I went up there to the classroom and she was up there by herself with this guy. And I told her, get your things, young lady, and take your behind downstairs. I'll meet you in the front office. She was like, well, he gonna take me home. I said, I'll take you home. He's not taking you anywhere. When I took her home, I talked to her mom and I told her mom that I thought that was an inappropriate relationship. I then went and talked to the administration the next day. And it hurt my heart. But I had to say, I seen something, so I said something. I gave him an opportunity to stay away from this young girl. All right. I seen something, I said something. Because it wasn't gonna be on my conscience that this guy that did something to this girl and ain't nothing happened to him. Long story short, you guys, I ended up in the hospital getting my tonsils taken out. I went in during Christmas break. I went in specifically during Christmas break because, so like right before Christmas break, so I could have my Christmas break and a little bit before Christmas break to recover. Y'all, I lied to you not. I'm in a hospital and I'm coming out of anesthesia and I get a call from the school, from the people at the school. The secretary, it was the secretary, the assistant secretary, one of my team members. Then I had a call from the vice principal. Then I had a call from the dean of students. Y'all, I'm not lying. Everybody started calling the hospital. They was like, girl, how you doing? You all right? You all right? Girl, turn on the news. I was like, what? Turn the news on. Y'all, the aides were calling me. Everybody was calling me. They were telling me to turn on the news. Y'all was coming out of anesthesia. They told me to turn on the news. Y'all, why that man was on the news and they had came and arrested him. Come to find out, okay, so he was married. He had a baby on the way. Um, and it was a brother, y'all. His wife was Caucasian. His wife and his wife's family, they stood behind him. They got him the best lawyers and everything. But y'all, the stuff that came out, it was terrible. When they went and brought the stuff out of his classroom, y'all, they said it was a pillow in there. They said it was condoms. They said it was a pillow, sheets, condom. Uh they said it was lubrication in there. Okay, it does sound like a Lifetime movie, but this truly happened in DC. They had found all of this stuff in there. Dog, I ain't lying. He ended up in jail. The dude ended up in jail. So, come to find out, the girl knew what that man's house looked like on the inside because he had taken her to his house in Virginia. He lived in Virginia. So he took her from Southeast DC to Virginia and took her to his house. So all of that came out during the trial. Miss Baker, she was a young girl. We were middle school. I taught middle school. So I don't know if it was her first time, second time. I don't know if he was doing whatever with her. I don't know if he was doing her anally. I don't know what he was doing. But they said it was lube. They said it was condoms. They said it was a dirty sheets and pillows. And that's what I don't understand. Because the classroom he was in had washer and dryer. But I had told him, I specifically went to him and I said to him, I said, if you don't keep this young girl out your face, I'm going to say something. I said, let me come up and see her in your space again like that again. Because she was always, I'm telling y'all, and I can't blame her because she's not the adult. He was the adult in the situation. You understand what I'm saying? I did. I said something. And like I said, I was in the hospital, y'all. I was coming out of recovery. They was like, turn on the TV. Y'all, I looked at TV. Girl, I sat right up in bed. I was like, oh my God. I could barely talk. I was like, oh my God. They came and got him, took him out in cuffs, and said they went and they checked his classroom, and that's all the stuff they found in his classroom. It was inappropriate. He was inappropriate. So to this person that I just got this letter from, if you think that you've seen something inappropriate, if other teachers are talking about it, you better go and tell somebody. You better talk to your administration. And when you talk to your administration, document when you called them or what you said to them, who you talked to, document it. Write it down. That way, if they come back on you, it ain't going to come back on you. Because y'all, when it came back, when everything came out, that evening that I called, like I told y'all, that next day I went and I talked to my administration. They were able to pull the tapes and see what I said was true. And I think that's what started the ball rolling because I went to my administration that next day. After I told that girl, I said, get your junk and get your behind downstairs now. She was like, he taking me home. I said, no, he not. I'm taking you home. Hey, Vibrant, how are you, darling? I said, I'm not going to allow him to take you home. I took her home. I talked to her mother. After I talked to her mother, I came back to school that next morning. And the first thing I did is went in my principal's office And I no, she didn't leave the school after he was arrested. She didn't have to leave the school. And nobody better than that had bothered her either. That wasn't gonna happen. They didn't work, it didn't work like that. But she didn't have to leave the school, but he he wasn't ever allowed back in the building. He was like, because his wife even came up there and said, "I'm coming to get my husband's things." They were like, "Your husband has no things here. How about that? Your husband has nothing here. So you can be escorted." Y'all, his wife was 9 months pregnant. And they had to go through the trial. They went through it because he sat in jail. They wouldn't give him no bond. I don't know what else he must have did that they ain't give him no bond, but they sure didn't. He couldn't come out of jail. He was in jail. And they had him the best lawyer. When I say he had a good lawyer, but y'all, I'm telling you. So, young person that sent me this letter, second year teacher, I am going to say, when you see something, say something. Because guess what? Like you said, you might be saving this child or other children from a sexual predator. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I was so flabbergasted when I found out that this young lady, she knew what his house looked like. She knew what his bedroom looked like because she was able to describe his bedroom. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. How is it that, hey, Purple Love, my darling, I don't know, Sunlight, his attorney couldn't defend that. How is his attorney going to defend that? How? Tell me how. You can't defend that. That's undefendable. That's why he ended up in jail. I'm not lying. It was terrible. Miss Baker, that's a good way to be. If you see something, say something. I always say that. And guess what? Sunlight Sprite, they they it they did try to make her look bad. They tried to make her seem like her home life, like her mother knew that she was going out there with him, and like her mother knew that she was with him. They tried to make it like that and stuff like that. They always try to victim blame and victim shame. But guess what? His ass ended up in jail where he needed to be. I'm telling you, Sunlight Sprite, I was so hurt. Miss Baker, it makes the sad part was, like I said, her whole family, all the whole family was sitting there on the front row in the court, holding their hands. I'm like, that brother found out orange was his new black. Excuse me. He found out orange was his new black, but I felt bad for the young lady. I felt bad for her mother because they brought some things out about her mother that were not flattering. I'm glad they didn't ask me to testify. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I hated testifying in cases. I did. And I used to have to, because the nature of my job, they always had me going to court to testify. I was a special ed coordinator. And being a coordinator, I always had to go to different court cases and testify. Plus, I had one case where I had a kid who killed somebody. They wanted me to be a character reference, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." I'm telling y'all, it used to kill me when I go to court. But I am going to say this: person that sent me this email, please tell. If you don't want to tell me the school and send me write a detailed description of more descriptive of what you seen in than this, and I'll send an anonymous letter to your job. I will, because you said the way you talk, it's enough teachers around there that have seen things that it need to be reported for real, for real. And that is what I am going to say. What do y'all think? What's y'all thoughts out there? What's y'all thoughts out there? You right. The judge don't always uh allow that type of evidence because it could be hearsay. But here's the other thing. Unless that okay, so the thing is, at least if they got something, an investigation should be started. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody should be investigating. On the short end, the principal need to go to that person and say, look, somebody said this is what they seen about you, and I got to investigate this. Then if I come back and I find out that this mess is true, you going to jail. If I find out that they lied on you, I'll try and figure out who it was that sent me this. But this is what we're gonna do. You need to protect yourself and stay away from that kid. I'm just saying. All right, let me see. Sunlight Sprite say, I pray for my daughter daily, asking for protection while she's in school. That's all we can do. And you right, some of the stuff is admissible and some of it is, is inadmissible in court, vibrant law. But the thing is, my thing is, we just gotta say something. If you see something, say something. Because guess what? You never know what might be happening. Now, just suppose I had not told that little girl to go downstairs that night and she ended up pregnant by this grown man. Think about it that way. Um, yeah, think about that. Suppose she would have ended up pregnant by this dude. All right, Purple Love, somebody sent me a letter. And today I'm going to start this where, if people send me emails and they have questions, I'm going to answer the questions. I'm going to take the time out, hey picture lady, to answer the questions. And the questions that they ask are a variety of questions. And I had somebody that sent me an email. They said they were a second year high school teacher and they noticed that it's a teacher and a student that seem to be in an inappropriate relationship. They're a second year high school teacher, and they see it's a teacher and a student that seem to be in an inappropriate relationship. What did I think the person should tell or shouldn't they? I was something they need to tell. They see something, say something. You know what? You right, vibrant law. They don't take any responsibility until you got somebody crazy like a crazy teacher like me, and I go to the administration and say, "You ain't gotta say nothing, but watch when I go down here and go above your head, go down here to the superintendent and let the superintendent know what's going on." And if the superintendent don't want to tell, y'all opening yourselves up for a lawsuit, right? Because I will get on the side of the parent and tell the parent to go get a lawyer and sue their butts. And lawyers, especially in those type of cases, they'll take them pro bono because they know they're going to win. Especially if they got a teacher on their side saying, hey, look, this was going on with your child. You need to go ahead and do what you do. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I think people need to tell it. They need to tell it. So if you see something, say something. Don't be letting your kid and other kids be in harm's way. What would y'all do? What would y'all do? Environment law, I hate that the schools don't get involved more. But the thing is, everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. Even I noticed when I started teaching in 1999, people would be scared. They'd be scared of the kids. They'd be scared of getting sued. They'd be scared of the parents. Um, I had a situation where a young lady told a little girl that it was inappropriate for her to be up in a male teacher's face, and the girl went home and told her mother that the teacher yelled at her. And the teacher said no, she was in the teacher. She walked in the teacher's lounge behind this guy begging for money. She said, and I thought it was inappropriate for her to be asking a grown man for money. And especially she just felt emboldened enough to walk into the teacher's lounge behind this male teacher begging. And she said, I just thought that was inappropriate. That's what she told her mother. The mother told her, bitch, I'm going to take my cowboy boot off and beat your ass up and down this hallway like you my child. I had to go up there and get her. I had to go upstairs and get the parent. I had to go upstairs and get the parent and keep the parent from jumping on that teacher. And you're right, they have taken a lot of teachers' power away. They really have. Y'all, I'm telling you. And you better not say nothing to these kids. Now that was in the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s. Y'all had kids. Y'all had this little girl. I'm not lying. This little girl failed failed classes. Only reason she was going to high school was because she was too old to stay in the middle school. So she was actually being socially promoted. But I had already told her, you ain't going to no prom. It ain't even happening. Because you done acted a fool all year. I done called your mama. Your mama done came up here. Then she done just threw her hands up and was like, whatever. Y'all, I'm not lying. It was time for the kids to go to prom. That mother came up there and begged. She was down on her hands and knees, begging and screaming and crying and begging the principal, please let my child go to prom. Already done bought her a dress. Y'all, this lady done spent her daggone rent money on a prom outfit for this kid who done failed school all year, acted a fool, and she didn't want to spend her rent money on a prom outfit. She got $400 shoes and $600 dress. Uh, Purple Love. I don't. Okay, so the thing is, what I told the person is I've already sent the person an email back, and I told the person that they need to report it. And I explained to them if they felt like they weren't strong enough to report it, give me a detailed list of what happened and send it to me. Give me the name of the school and everything, and I'll send it to the principal. So that's what I did. That was one of my options I gave to the person. Vibrant, you are correct. There are a lot of problems as well. Parents with problems as well. Because let me tell you what she did. She in there begging and crying. You know what she said? This might be the only problem. I think this gonna be. She said, "I think this is gonna be the only prom that my child ever gets to go to." Ain't that a sad state of affairs? That she already gave up on her daughter. She gave up on her daughter in eighth grade. That lady was crying. I mean, she was crying and begging. And guess what? When that girl came to that prom, she was the best dressed thing. Got out in the Escalade and all that stuff. You right. Most there are parents that don't care, and some that do care. They always do take their child's side, regardless of the child is right or wrong. Now I had a lady. I had another parent. I call her Big Ange. Hey, stomp down, my darling. I got a lady, I call her Big Angie. Because she was a bus driver, y'all. Her name was Angie. She was a bus driver. And she used to she used to drive the metro bus. And she used to carry a switchblade in her boot. It was funny. But she didn't take no shorts, y'all. She didn't take no shorts. So Angie would this it was a sub up in the classroom, and the sub said she was talking to all the kids. She was telling the kids, stop acting, the young lady, stop acting so fresh because you don't want to take your mom a baby home to your mama. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be a teenage parent and take babies home to your mama. One of this girl, Big Angie daughter, told her that the teacher said she was gonna bring a house full of babies and she was a whore. Y'all, I went up there. Big Angie had a chair. That lady was locked in the classroom. Big Angie had a chair. They had double pane windows, but in the middle of them, they had like chicken wire in between the double pane windows. Big Angie was up there with a chair, busting the windows out the classroom. I had to go up there and get a Big Angie. You cannot tear up the school property. You know you going to jail, right? She ain't end up in jail, but Big Angie to this day is still funny. Big Angie, husband, boyfriend, whatever he was in jail. Big Angie daughter used to fight because the dude she was living with was messing with the lady downstairs kids, and the kids would be fighting. I'd be like, Jesus Christ. But Big Angie kept it real. When keeping it real goes wrong. But she came up there, she was gonna tag that teacher for that. I'm telling you, Big Angie didn't play. Did not play. One day Big Angie was talking to me. It was some kids attacking the teacher and her brother across the hallway. Her daughter jumped in the class and said, "Woo, they out there fighting." Big Angie said, I said, "What?" I came from behind the desk. Me and Big Angie had to go break the fight. We had to call it. We was at it telling her daughter, "Go call the administration downstairs." We had to break the fight up. Me and Big Angie was pulling the kids off the teacher and her brother. I told you I worked in the hood my first year. My first couple of years when I was in DC, I worked in the straight hood. We had everything going on over there. It was crazy. But back to this ladder. Please, please, please. If y'all see something, say something. What do y'all think? Do y'all think it was a good idea for me to tell a person if they didn't want to go and tell? Send me the school information and I send a letter to the principal. What do y'all think in reference to that? That's what I was thinking too. Because something needs to be said. Something needs to be said. Because like I said again, suppose something happened in yeah. This is a weird situation. It's a weird situation. Y'all, you're right. People do have to start getting involved. People scared. You know what? Just like that situation on the train up in Philly. Y'all, that was the strangest thing I ever seen. So you mean to tell me you pull out your phone and videotape somebody getting assaulted and not call the police? I did not understand that one. I didn't understand that one. I totally didn't understand that one. They all standing around watching this person get assaulted, and nobody thought to pick up their phone and say, 911, somebody's getting assaulted on a train. Nobody had the wherewithal to say, boom, 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 boom. Uh, train conductor, something going on up in here. Hey, Deborah Mayo, how are you, darling? You right, Purple Love. You are right. Even if it's not true, you stand up for the child. That's what you do. And you're right, Vibrant Lord. If it's 10 of y'all and one person is assaulting, even if it's 10 females, even if it's 3 females, and this one guy is assaulting this one female, why can't y'all jump him? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Is it just me? I'm asking. If it's 10 of us together and all of us see something going on, if we all stand up together, if the guy ain't got no gun or nothing, and it don't look like, you know what I'm saying? Why can't we all just say, hey, we see you, stop it. I got your picture. One person had a picture, the other person call and 911. Somebody else, you know, I mean, if you don't do nothing, take your shoes off and start throwing your shoes at them. I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Even if it's 3 of us together or 3 of us on the train, we ain't all got to know each other. But if we see somebody else get violated, because guess what? I want to say something because after he finished with her, he might come for me next. So we need to stop him in his tracks. You understand what I'm saying? We need to stop him in their tracks. I'm telling y'all, people always laugh at me. I carry an ink pen and I carry a pencil, an ink pen or a pencil. Always got an ink pen or a pencil with me. This is not illegal for me to carry. This X-Acto knife would be illegal for me to carry. My gun is illegal for me to carry, depending upon where I'm going. These are not illegal for me to carry. I'm just telling y'all. Because they got a point. All you need to do is. So what I'm saying is the number of people they said was on that train. Um, okay, you're right. It's like those stories where the old ladies beat that Rob and the muggers and they don't get her purse. And you right, Deborah. And Purple Love Mace is good. You can always get Mace at the Walmart. It's right there at the counter. You know when you check out at the checkout stand. Mm-hmm. Pencils. You get a box of pencils. They right now they should be on sale. Excuse me. The pencils for like 10 cents. Sharpen your pencil. It don't have to have a point on it, but it have to have been sharpened. Just saying. So that's what I want us to do. We need to start looking out for one another. We need to start looking out for our babies. Need to start looking out for other people's children. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So if y'all see something going on, say something. Y'all, because I'm still disturbed about that lady down in Texas, down in Houston, Texas. That woman had disturbed me. I ain't lying. Disturbed me. I am disturbed. Do you hear me? Because I'm still disturbed at the neighbors. People be nosy about everything else, being your business about everything. Okay, your first husband for the post office, he worked for the post office and he brought home mace all the time. Honey, I'm just saying. I got a I got a friend, she owns a store and she sells uh uh it's a hold on, I'm gonna show it to y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show it to y'all. Y'all gonna trip when y'all see this. When y'all see this, y'all gonna be laughing at me. Y'all gonna be like, Viv, you crazy. It's so cute. Let me see if I got it. Y'all gonna be like, she's so crazy. All right, so I got a friend. She worked for a store. She worked for, or she don't work for a store. She owns a store. There you go. Sorry about that, y'all. She owns a store. Y'all see this right here? Y'all see this? This is what she gave me. It is a taser and a flashlight, and it's rechargeable. See how cute it is? But it's small enough that I can carry it in my pocket or keep it in my little pocketbook, my small purse. And that's what this is. This is a taser. And this pack a lot of volts, a lot of voltage. And the only reason I know this is because I used it before on one of my former co-workers. My boss told him, I'll give you $50, you let them tase you. He was like, okay. But their taser wasn't like this. I was like, let me tase him with this one. Don't tase him with that little teeny one. Let me tase him with this one right here. His leg looked like y'all remember when they used to y'all remember when the cigarette lighter be in the car, you gotta push it in, then you pull it out, and then it got the circles. That's what his leg looked like when it got finished. I'm just saying, is you can smell his skin frying. I'm just saying. She said, Vibrant Low said, I saw a story where a lady at the gas station hauled the hijacker right out of her car and started beating him. He ran away without the car, broad daylight. But you know what, Vibrant Low? I don't know if you guys have seen that one. It does look like a lipstick. It looked like a lipstick. Um, and my girlfriend, she sells these. She keep telling me to put some on, put them in my online store for. I'm like, yeah, I'll think about it. I'll be thinking about everything for her. But Vibrant, did you see the one where the lady was at the gas station pumping her gas, and it was a van of guys that came up and tried to kidnap her, and she just started spraying gas on all of them. She just sprayed gas on all of them, even the ones that were driving. She just started spraying gas. They ran and left her alone. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make sure that you protect yourself because people ain't protecting you. Because we already see that. Ain't nobody out there to look out for us. We just be short. Out there walking around in the street looking crazy. And I'm not trying to be out there. Hey, Miss Pam, how are you? But you know what, Vibrant Law? It's not only ladies that's fed up, it's dudes that's fed up. You know, when I was in the DMV, um, I used to hear story like I heard this story one time. This person, these kids that got on the bus and jumped this person. The person's head was swollen up like a basketball. That's a sad situation. It's sad when you see these people and they out here, they just acting a fool. It ain't only the kids though, it's adults too. It's a sad situation. I was talking to some people the other day and I was telling them about how they used to arrest teachers at the school that I worked at, defending themselves from kids, and they would arrest the teachers. They would make them do the perp walk. I seen a man with one eye. They made him do the perp walk because he pushed the dude away from him, and the dude was punching him in his face and punching him in his good eye. He pushed the kid away. They took that man down the hallway in handcuffs in front of everybody. Sure did. But now he didn't deserve to go down the hallway in handcuffs. But this other guy that I told y'all about at the beginning, though, he deserved to go down the hallway in handcuffs. Not only did he deserve to go down the hallway in handcuffs, he deserved that jail sentence he got too. Cause yeah, he ended up in jail. He ended up in jail. That was a sad situation. And like you said, Vibrant, it was sad the way they attacked the mom and put the mom on Front Street, and she didn't deserve that. The kid didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it. I'm telling y'all, I'm so tired of people shaming the victim. And I hate to see how this lady gonna react that was attacked on this train in Philly. I hate to see how that's gonna come out. I really do. But people doing the most with the least. Y'all, all we can do is pray for them. And y'all, I will keep y'all informed as to what happened with this situation. If they call me back and let me, if they email me back, call me back. If they email me back and tell me what happened with the letter, if they talk to the administration or if they didn't talk to the administration or if they told or what, I'll let y'all know. They let me know, I'm gonna let y'all know. And I am gonna follow up. I'm gonna send an email back saying, hey, what happened? Did you tell somebody? What you say, Vibrant? Vibrant Love say when I was in school, she was in Catholic school, punishment was part of the curriculum. Nuns don't play. Honey. We had this teacher in elementary school. I remember that lady. She was a big woman. You know that lady had to be about 500 pounds. Her name was Miss Furman. Miss Furman. Miss Furman used to I remember they'd be like, Miss Furman is gonna do the paddling. And Miss Furman would have had them kids sit there. I'm glad I wasn't in her classroom because if I was in her classroom, my mother would have came there and beat the hell out of that lady. She said to sit in the chair and she would have somebody hold their hands behind their back like this here, and she would beat their legs. That wasn't going to fly in my house. My mother didn't mind you disciplining us, but you weren't going to abuse us. That's one thing. Because my mother was an abused child. So because she went through abuse, no, it wasn't Big Angie. Because Big Angie wasn't that big. Big Angie wasn't that big. We just called her Big Angie. Big Angie was about 5'5". She was thick. She wasn't fat. She was thick. You know what I'm saying? But Big Angie walked like she was like 8 feet tall. If you see Big Angie, you think she was about 8 feet tall. And Big Angie she went hard. You talk about somebody going hard in the paint. She went hard in the paint. I remember she used to come up there with her Metro shirt on. She had a white beater on up under like this. And it'd be unbuttoned. She'd be like, where T at? I'm like, what you doing up here, Big Angie? I'm coming to beat her ass. I got a call from the teacher. I'd be like, oh God. was like, oh my God. Yep, she have a white beater up on her shirt. She be, y'all, I'm telling y'all, Big Angie she didn't play with her kids. She did not play with her kids. And you didn't play with her kids either. If you called her and told her that her kids was acting up, Big Angie would pull that bus up in front of the schoolhouse. She ain't play. She ain't play. I had some good parents, y'all. I had some crazy parents, but I had some good ones too. She just didn't play. And right now, me and Big Angie still friends. We still friends. We still friends. Her daughter, her daughter is married with kids. They still contact me. They still contact me to this day. I'm telling you. We used to have us a good little time. Good little time. Big Angie still call me. Viv, what's up? Miss J, what you doing? You say your mother was wonderful, but she was strict. What? The white kids held you hostage? Oh Lord, we can't have that. We can't have that. My mom was raised by this white lady, and she ended up living with her. I think my mom said she left her mom's house at 11. My mom ended up staying with them till she was married to my dad, and she was like 25. And any money that they paid her, it all went back home to her mom. Oh Lord. Well, Purple Love, we're gonna have you tell that story one day. I'm gonna have to have some other folks up here that we can talk about this, about being the only black kid, and the white children not being as nice as they could be to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to have you in here one day when my mom is on here, because my mom, she talks about um how she handled certain situations. You know what I'm saying? When it came to being the only black and stuff. Well, what we'll do is I will get with you and I will get your question next. Because she said her life will rip our hearts out. We don't want to rip our hearts out, but if anybody have any questions, all y'all gotta do is drop the if you have any questions that you want me to answer, any situations that you want me to discuss and give my take on them and my opinion. Because it's been almost an hour. Um, email me at yespicturelady@gmail.com. I'm gonna drop that in the chat. Honey, I remember that lady. I remember that lady. I remember that lady. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you. I had a I had a preacher that came to my church one Sunday, and she preached about that lady going to get her child. You know what she ended up telling us? That lady was wrong. She said that lady was wrong. She said that lady was wrong for going to get her child. But then in the next breath, she said her granddaughter should have beat the people up at school. How do you in the first breath say that's wrong? And then in the next breath say, yeah, she said the lady was wrong. But then in the next breath, she said that her granddaughter should have beat somebody up at school. Miss Deborah said she remember. Let me see. She grew up in a black neighborhood, and she stayed together with friends. Let me see. They stayed together as friends. She said she's 65 and she remember those days. I believe that. I believe that. Cause it ain't like it was it today, it ain't like it was used to be. I believe I believe that I believe that lady was a good mother. And I believe that she was teaching her son to be a man and not act a fool. And I believe that. But the preacher can't come up there and preach the Women's Day sermon and say that mama was a bad mama for embarrassing her son on national TV, and then in the next breath say her granddaughter should have beat up the little boy. And you're right, her son could have been killed because it was out of hand. Miss Deborah Mayo, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, you guys, that is my time. It's been almost an hour. And again, if we see something, say something. Again, second year high school teacher, you'll know exactly who you are. I'm not putting your name out there. I'm not putting your information out there. I'm just saying, second year high school teacher. Let me know exactly what you did, what happened. Let me know exactly what ended up happening in this case, so that I can, I like to follow along because, like I said, in my situation, I seen something and I said something. And that's what I think that needs to happen. When we see something, we need to say something. We got to stop sitting back being punks. That's our issue. A lot of us are just punks, chicken hearted, scared. We say anything to each other behind these keyboards, and we just keyboard gangsters, machine gunning each other with these keyboards. But when it comes to real life, one-on-one situations, when we see something going on in the neighborhood, when we see something going in the community, when we get the opportunity to stop a real true crime from happening, we too scared to say anything. And you're right, the police were out there beating those kids, and it was out of hand. And that mother wasn't crazy. The mother was not crazy. Because guess what? If it would have been my mother, she would have drug us home too. She would have drug us home too. Y'all, my mama done left us in the store. She done tried to leave me in the store as an adult because I wasn't moving fast enough. Come on now. That's what our problem is. And kids don't have a healthy dose of fear, their parents, like we used to have. We had what I call a healthy dose of fear. You know what I'm saying? When your mama did like this, or she did this right here. We were at the point where we was like, okay, I better stop. Because my mother about to put her hands around my throat and choke me. Kids don't even care no more. They just do what they do. Thank you, Miss Deborah. Thank you. So, y'all, thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate y'all for sharing this little time with me. You right, Miss Purple Love. The mother did do the right thing. So, as my mama always say, live, love, and laugh. And as my dad always says, Lord, make us a blessing so we can be a blessing. I hope I was a blessing to somebody today. And the moral of the story, if you see something, say something. And if one person is attacking another person, don't just be taking out your phone recording. Make a phone call to 911. If it's a group of y'all and one of him, he can't kill everybody. I'm just saying. Anyway, y'all, I'm out. Deuces.